Good evening. We'll call this meeting to order. Ms. Chophouse, would you do the invitation for us, please?
Father, we just thank you for this day. We come to you gratitude for all your blessing, most of all your mercy and your grace. Father, we just ask you to be with each and every one as we go about this meeting. Be with those, the new that's coming in, and those that's going to be leaving, Father. Take us to our new job, Lord. Whatever you have planned for us, Lord, we intend to do. And help those new ones that's coming in and guide them in a path, Lord, that they can walk, Lord, for the betterment of Cherokee Nation. Lord, you know the hearts and the mind of each and every one that's in this room. Lord, I just pray that their hearts is in to help the people. Lord, we thank you for your mercy and your grace. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Melvina. Roll call, Miss Miller.
Bill Anglin.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Audra Connor.
Honey.
Joe Crendon.
Here.
Meredith Fraley.
Here.
Don Garvin. Chuck Hoskin.
Here.
Bill Johnson.
Here.
Taylor Key.
Honey.
John Keener. Jackie Bob Martin.
Honey.
Linda O'Leary. Melvina Shophouse. David Thornton.
Present.
Carrie Cowan Watts.
Honey.
Phyllis Yargy.
We have a quorum. Before we get started, I'd ask that you please turn off your cell phones so that they aren't disruptive to the meeting. And also, if the council would please speak into the microphones. It's difficult for people to hear in the audience. So when you have something to say, please speak into the microphone. Okay, next is approval of the July 16th regular session minutes.
So moved.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Next order of business is State of the Nation. Principal Chief Chad Smith.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Same to you.
Thank you each for joining us tonight for the final State of the Nation of this term in front of this council. Next month we will see new faces as our newly elected officials begin their terms of office. But first, let's pay our respects and remembrances to friends who have passed from this life this last month. C&E employee Sandy Handlin passed away last Wednesday. He was employed with C&E since 2004. as a customer service administrator. He will be missed by employees as well as our guests. Many people didn't know that he was also a golf coach, and that two in the most current PGA were his students. Also, Ed Lance, husband of Brenda Lance in our Human Resources Department, passed away this week. Butch Black Fox, his funeral was today. He was a former Cherokee Nation security officer and veteran, and the father of Delaware County Sheriff Jay Black Fox. So if you will, with me, take a moment of silence for these and their families and all others who are in similar circumstances on this eve. Widow. We honor another family of warriors tonight in our Veterans Honors. The Summerlin family offered 3 generations to military service. The family would like me to note that George W. Summerlin served during World War II in the South Pacific and in Turkey. Together with his sons, grandsons, and great-grandsons, the Summerlin family has served over 100 years of military service. The father, Gerald Summerlin from Grove, joined the United States Air Force in 1951, retired from the service In 1973, as a Master Sergeant, he served 22 years. Gerald is a veteran from both the Korean and Vietnam Wars. He served in Europe, North Africa, and Japan. After the service, he became an entrepreneur and started his own commercial equipment business. He fully retired 6 years ago and moved to the family farm in Tahlequah. Gerald is currently the VFW Post 3707, commander and a member of the American Legion. Son, Keith E. Summerlin, from Jacksonville, Arkansas. After graduating high school, he worked as a police officer. He joined the Army National Guard in 1985. After completion of basic training, he was assigned to an outfit in Alabama. Upon returning to Arkansas, he was assigned to Camp Robinson as military police. His duties included providing security for military installations, convoys, and Tactical Operations Command Center. He attained the rank of Staff Sergeant and was honorably discharged in 1993. He currently works for the Arkansas Department of Health as the Bioterrorism Response Coordinator for Central Arkansas. He is also a member of the Department of Justice Anti-Terrorism Advisory Council. Grandson, Eric S. Summerlin, was born in 1982 at the Indian Hospital in Claremore, Oklahoma. His parents are Keith and Kay Summerlin. He enlisted in the United States Air Force in 2002. He is an aerial gunner and is currently assigned to the Air Force Special Operations Command in Hurlburt Field, Florida. He has been deployed to Germany, Kuwait, and to Iraq 4 times. He has more than a dozen service medals to his credit. Eric plans to make the military his career and cannot be with us tonight because he's currently in Iraq. So thank you for these many generations of this Cherokee family serving the Cherokee Nation and our United States in our defense. So if you will come down and let us acknowledge you, we would be delighted. Summerlin family, please. Joe, if you'll help me. Can you take this for Eric?
Who is it?
That was for Eric. Gerald. Keith. And those are those. Would you care to say a word for us?
Well, I appreciate all of the help that I've got from Cherokee Nation, and I love everyone that thank you.
Okay. Would you care to say a word, sir?
I just want to say thank you to, I'm proud of my father, my grandfather, who served before I did. I'm proud of my son. Like I said, he couldn't be here tonight. He's serving his 5th term in Iraq. He was supposed to be here, and then they called him back. He just got back from his last tour, July 6th, and he was hoping that he probably wouldn't go back until next year, but the military said they needed him otherwise. But I'm accepting this on his behalf also.
Thank you.
We'll send them to you when they come in.
Good. I'd like Audra Smoke Connor, if you'll come down and join us. William Stanley Smoke, at the age of 23, was inducted into the Army. He was assigned to 3rd Armored Division. Mr. Smoke was sent to Frankfurt, Germany, shortly before the birth of his daughter, Audra. He was reassigned to and fought in the Vietnam War and a former councilman of the Cherokee Nation. William, you come down and let us express our appreciation to you as a veteran.
Thank you for
Proud of my daughter to be on the council for 4 years. I served 2 terms in Mays County, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Leon Clemens graduated from Catoosa High School in 1943. Shortly after graduating, he applied to the United States Navy. After 3 terms, the war began to decelerate in Europe, and most men were sent to the Pacific Theater, where they were needed. Leon was offered the choice of extending his enlistment for 6 additional years and moving to a program in Albuquerque, New Mexico, or transferring to the fleet. Leon chose the fleet. He was sent to Pearl Harbor until his time was up and he was discharged. The Korean War started in 1950, and Leon was called back to duty. His company alternated from bomb line duty to protecting planes and their carriers. Leon says that many exciting things took place during that tour of duty. Leon now is employed at the Cherokee Casino in Catoosa. Leon, are you here? Would you come down and let us acknowledge you? Care to say a word, please?
I'm very good for this. I'm proud of being Cherokee, and I know I'm going to be proud of that old mountain.
Thank you, sir. You may have noticed that Joe did not have the honor of trying to get his plumber fingers around a medal and pinning it on folks tonight. We had ordered some medals and they had a defect in, so we sent them back, and we'll be delivering those to our veterans tonight at a later time. We have some special visitors with us tonight that I'd like to introduce. Michelle Locust, our 2007 Miss Cherokee. Tonight is one of her final official appearances. Michelle, would you care to say a word?
She's not here.
She's not here?
The new Junior Miss
Okay.
Cherokee.
Junior Miss Cherokee, hers is just about up. Mrs. Culp, would you like to say a word or two?
This past year has been a wonderful opportunity for me to learn who I am as a Cherokee woman. It's been a great experience. I've gained a lot of friends and a lot of awesome memories that I'll never forget, and I'd like to thank the nation for giving me the opportunity to serve as their junior miss and an opportunity for me to expand my horizons. Thank you.
We also have visitors from Rome, Georgia. They attend to and have started and maintained the Chieftains Museum there. And we have tonight the founder, Gaynell Grizzard, Ansley Seville, the past president, Marcia Wells, the president, and Claudia Oakes, the executive director. And they're here, and if you all would stand and let us recognize you. Thank you for your attendance. In program updates, the Cherokee Nation Tribal Employment Rights Offices received the Tarot Program of the Year Award at the 30th Annual National Tarot Conference that was held in July in Niagara Falls, New York. They earned this award due to working diligently to ensure compliance with the Indian preference requirements by contractors, subcontractors, vendors, suppliers, and others doing business with the Cherokee Nation. The Cherokee Nation Tarot Program has certified 50 Indian-owned businesses this program year. Overall, there's 350 plus Tarot certified businesses. This year, the Cherokee Nation Tarot Program has collected over $750,000 in tarot fees, and our contractors' projects have hired 84 Indian workers. In addition, the Cherokee Nation Tarot is responsible for the Fire Dancers program, which is a wildland firefighter program. This year, a total of 60 Cherokee Nation fire dancers were dispatched to forest fires in Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Georgia. At the national conference, a youth scholarship award was announced. The recipient is Tyler Thomas from Adair County. Tyler Thomas will receive a $1,000 check. And Larry Ketcher, will you come down and help us present that? Yes. Okay. Tyler, if you would come down. And the thing that counts, the money.
I'd like to thank everyone that's helped me get where I am today, most of all my mom and my grandmother.
And Larry has presented us the Terrell Award that was received in Niagara Falls just last month. So thank you very much.
Yes, the Terrell staff that stand and be recognized.
Will the Terrell staff stand and be recognized, please? All the Terrell guys.
Day or night.
Would you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Continue standing. To the my right is Dale Gibson, compliance monitor. Next to him is Mike Weaver, our administrative assistant. Seating, if he will stand, is our newest member, John Overacker, our manager. Leroy Wolf, our compliance monitor and FAR program coordinator. Rob Darty, another compliance monitor. And we're all present and accounted for except for our intern, who is Darren Buzzard, and he's not with us today, I don't think. So this is our Terrell staff that received the Outstanding Award for Terrell Program of the Year at the 30th Annual National Terrell Conference about 2 weeks ago.
If you never need an MC for a powwow or bar mitzvahs, there's just anything, there's Rob Daugherty. He'll turn it into an entertaining event. And we understand that Michelle Locust has arrived, and we'd like to acknowledge her, and this will be one of her last official functions, and we'd like her to come down and share with us of her recollections of this year.
I would just like to say hello to everyone and thank you for being here tonight. And I'm really glad to be here, and it's been a wonderful year. I've traveled many places all across the United States and all over the 14 counties, and I've spoken to many people and got to meet a lot of great people. And this is some of the Tribal Council's last meeting, and I've really got to know a lot of them. Most of them I know very well. And I just appreciate their kindness and their words of wisdom, and they've helped me help guide me through this year, and I just appreciate each and every one of them, and I wish them all the best of luck throughout the rest of their lives. And my term is coming to an end on September 1st. I'll have to give my crown up, but I think me and Danielle have a plan to go to Mexico, don't we? So we're hitting the road. No. But I've enjoyed spending time with Danielle. Her and I have gotten to know each other very well, and I love her dearly. And I just thank you all for the opportunity to represent all of you, and I will continue to do that, and I will treasure all of the memories I have being Miss Cherokee and take it with me throughout life. Thank you.
And if you didn't know, Bobby Gale Smith, my wife, was Miss Cherokee some time ago, and I hope, Michelle, they don't have to wrestle the crown away from you like that. No, I don't want to. That's not true. I want to go home this evening. I'd like to share some brief announcements with you. Kathy Sierra in our office and administration received her master's level proficiency in the Cherokee language recently. Congratulations, Kathy. The inaugural celebration of the Cherokee Nation's elected officials will be held tomorrow, August 14th at 9 a.m. at our courthouse downtown. And on a personal note, I want to thank the council members whose terms are ending tomorrow. I know that you will be continuing serving the Cherokee people in your own way. And we know that we don't always agree on things, but I can tell you this, is that this council and our administration has moved the Cherokee Nation in the right direction. And it certainly takes a difference of opinion to test each and every one of the decisions we have made as a body. But I can say this in all sincerity, the Cherokee Nation is in a better position today than 4 years ago because of your combined service. So I want to thank each of you very much. One of the things we have accomplished over the 40 years, it's been pretty tough, is to remove the Bureau of Indian Affairs from our constitutional approval process. Last week, we received a letter from the BIA acknowledging that their approval of our Constitution was no longer necessary. It took 2 votes of the Cherokee people to send that message. This acknowledgement of our sovereignty should be seen as a victory, not for the Cherokee Nation, but for all tribes who understand the importance of self-governance in crafting a Constitution by and for their own people without interference from Washington, D.C. And it was interesting. I always thought the word self-governance was a modern bureaucratic word. But going back and reading the writings of John Ross 150 years ago, he used that exact same phrase. The most sacred right, the most valuable right, the most inherent right of our Cherokee Nation and our people is the right to govern ourselves, to make our own decisions. And now we have the regime of bureaucratic imperialism, as one federal judge commented, hopefully at an end from the Bureau of Indian Affairs. This letter ends a long struggle by the nation to remove the BIA from its constitutional process. I have to thank Cherokee patriots like Jay Hanna and Ralph Keene and Jr. and many others who worked on our constitutional convention. Without the efforts of Cherokee citizens like them, this day may never have come. I'd like to end on this note. I had the great opportunity to give a welcome back speech to the students at Sequoia High School. And my own daughter, or Bobby and I's daughter, began the 9th grade. And yesterday she says, I can't believe that summer's all over. I don't want to go back to school. And in the same breath, she was laying out her clothes for tomorrow. And so when we got to school, she had to be there a half an hour early. And she was just beaming to go back and see the kids at Sequoia. And I tell you, it's inspirational to when we go to Sequoia. We did the introduction. There was almost 400 kids there. Bright, attentive, good-looking. These are kids that are going to be outstanding leaders for our future. And I can tell you why, because they sat 10 minutes during my speech and nobody got up and rioted it. I was very pleased. But it's just refreshing. Anytime we become faint of heart, I think we can look at our own people, especially our young people, and see that the strength of the Cherokee Nation will never falter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Smith. Next order of business is action of unfinished business. Last month, the budget covering this Mod 9 was approved, but there was an item in that mod covering an appropriation to the Tahlequah Boys and Girls Club, which was subsequently vetoed due to not having a plan in place for appropriation of funds to all boys and girls clubs. We have 3 options available to us. We can sustain the veto, we can override the veto, or we can table the veto, as this particular issue of line item veto is a question before the currently before the court.
Move to table.
We have a motion to table.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, it is. We will table this item. Next are committee reports, and Housing Authority, David Sutherland. Good evening, David.
Good evening, you all. Have a brief report this evening. Our August board meeting, which was scheduled for the 21st, has been rescheduled for the 23rd. Meeting to be at 5:30 in the Eileen Hogner Conference Room at the Administration Building. We don't have a real heavy agenda. The board will be doing an annual evaluation on the executive director, so I'm hoping that goes pretty good. We'll see. I was in Washington last week attending a meeting with Assistant Secretary Cabrera of HUD and several other HUD staffers, along with several folks from other tribes. The meeting was a discussion of tribes using tax-exempt financing in similar ways that public housing agencies use that kind of financing for capital fund expenditures. It was interesting, and it's got some potential for the future, I think, but they're just kind of getting rolling into Indian country with this. So hopefully on the horizon there'll be some cheap money we maybe have access to loan. There's a group coming in this week that's going to evaluate the Section 184 program that HUD has. It's the loan guarantee program. We don't really do a whole lot of Section 184 per se, but we do a lot of mortgage assistance, which generates a lot of Section 184 loans, and that's what they're interested in. We've topped 250 grants for this fiscal year, generating approximately $14 million in bank loans. This council and administration should be commended for taking the initiative to serve more families with mortgage assistance grants. 250 is a lot, and I shouldn't say grants. There are actually 250 families that got a new home because of the program. I want to express my appreciation to this council for the work it's done the past 4 years. You've represented your people well and with dignity. And just to be honest, I've been here a long time, and that's not always been the case, and I appreciate that. That's my report this evening. If you have any questions.
Any questions or comments? Yes. Ms. Connor?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Sutherland, since I won't be at the next Community Service Committee meeting, I had a question that if you would please check into. I know we've got some folks out around the Hilltop Circle, the Housing Edition, that have received letters stating that boats and things that are parked beside their homes. I would just like to ask, I know it may be policy for that addition, but removal from their homes or from their units by having their boat parked out to the side is a little harsh, you know, when there's lots of other things going on sometimes inside those homes. So I would just like to ask if you could revisit that maybe and report back to this committee.
That particular addition is a little unique because we have the traditional, mutual help. We've had some of those homes in there. We've got some of what's called the Nahasda homes, and we've got some mortgage homes in there, Title VI mortgages. And the way we enforce the Title VI, or try to, is through the covenants. Mm-hmm. And the covenants say you got to have your travel trailer and your recreational vehicle and boats, things like that, in the backyard. It's been tough. I'm going to tell you that right now. Mm-hmm. But we're working with all those families, all the different programs, and all the different requirements.
Okay. Well, I'd really hate to see someone not be able to stay in their home just because they maybe can't get their boat or their RV in the backyard, you know, due to lack of a gate and not being able to fund that right now. So sure. I'll just ask that you look at that.
We will.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other questions, comments? Mr. Sutherland? Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Next report is Cherokee Nation Enterprises, David Stewart. David is a busy person.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. I'd first like to pay tribute to all of our employees that did an outstanding job representing the casino and the nation while we had all the guests in for the PGA. It was an incredible week for those of you that were out there, and the tireless hours that they put in to deliver the customer service at all times that we try to do, they did it, and we had some good results. So a tribute to them. Our financial performance was extremely strong, setting a new record in the 16-year history of C&E. And our employees, despite all of the increased attendance and all the amenities that we provide, continue to strive to represent the nation very well, and they have done that. Our dividend would approximate $3 million for the month, setting a new record. We hired 100 new employees as we prepare for our expansion and growth. Our total now is 3,140, of which 60% are Cherokee and about 72% are Native American. All of our expansions are going well, although putting a lot of pressure on our employees, but we're on schedule, on budget, and continue to stay there. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Stewart? Yes, Mr. Baker?
we pay John Daly to say that he went to the Cherokee Casino and played golf?
I'll get back with you on that. Counselor.
Ms. Shop-Pouch?
There was an article that was in the paper, was it last week, about the new policy of the night is putting on, about the machines and things.
The new what?
New policies or something. There was an article in Tulsa World last week sometime I read. How would that impact, or would it?
I'm not sure I'm clear about the article. The what?
Mr. Hummenberg can refer to that.
Class 2, Class 3.
Class 2.
Well, our strategy is to move toward the Class 3 games. Although we don't pay the compact fee on the Class 2, we feel that the Class 3 games are a little more well accepted with our customer. So our strategy is to move toward the Class 3 games. So I don't really see that it's going to affect us strategically or financially.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you, Mr. Stewart.
Okay, thank you. I would also like to say that it's been a pleasure working over the past years with those of you that are not going to be here in the future. Without your support, we have not have been able to accomplish what we have done at C&E. We've hired probably 2,000 people over the past years, and so I appreciate that, and I know all of our employees do. Thank you.
Thank you. Next to Cherokee Nation Industries, Brian Collins. Good evening, Brian.
Good evening. Good evening, Council. Reporting, I wanted to back up on last month when we reported, as of June 30th, we had $108 million. We've adjusted that back to $105 million. There's approximately over $3 million of intercompany sales. So that the audit, what you'll see in the year-end audit, will be approximately $105 million. Profit that was reported was 1.9. We have now finalized our June at 2.3 million, and we've hit our target. The employees have hit their targets for the year, and we are paying bonuses to the employees here in about a week and a half. So they're excited about that. Advised them of that today. For the month of July, since we're now in the process of going into a stub out period, our year end will be September 30th. I'll report the next 3 months on a month-to-month comparison until we can get back into alignment with the nation. But as of July, monthly sales, 9.4 million, which is about 6% greater than the comparative time frame from July of last year. Local employment, 287, 248 Native Americans, 86% would be that relation. Our next board meeting is August 16th, this Thursday, at the clubhouse in Catoosa at 12 o'clock. Is there any questions?
Mr. Garvin?
Brian, you missed a good barbecue dinner at Muskogee at the Three Rivers Clinic on Friday. I know you had to work, but I think it was 143 went through the line, including myself, and it was good barbecue.
Well, I appreciate you.
They had 140 pounds, so each one would be a whole pound.
Yeah.
But to report on the clinic, it's coming along really good. And each one you asked has a different finish time, but it looks like probably the middle of October. Would you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, the initial wing, the opening, they're targeting in September, 1st October. I think the final completion, still targeted for the end of the year for the full operation. So it'll be a phased approach on the opening. But
they're working very hard. It's very hot out there, but they're doing a great job.
yes, from using boats to get to it to now the heat. It's been.
I know. Ice storm got them too.
An ice storm. Yes.
They're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Are there other questions, comments from Mr. Collins? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cherokee Nation Business Inc., Brad Carson. Good evening, Brad.
Good evening, Madam Speaker. First of all, let me say to the outgoing Tribal Council, it's been a great pleasure working with you. I knew most of you long before I came to work for the Cherokee Nation, and I've been in politics myself, and tribal politics sometimes has a unique ferocity to it, but it's been a great pleasure working with all of you, and a pleasure seeing the kind of leadership that this nation has on its behalf. This nation would be lucky to have leaders of equal caliber serving it. So thank you for your work here. This is a busy time for Cherokee Nation businesses. It is the budget cycle, and of course the budget cycle brings to bear our chief responsibility under the Jobs Growth Act passed by this council at the end of 2005 of allocating capital between the various divisions of the Cherokee Nation. And so under Dave Stewart's leadership and Brian Collins' leadership, they have submitted their budgets to us, and we're trying to work those out and plan over the next 3 years for the expansion of the casinos, for the growth required by Cherokee Nation Industries, by the continued growth of Cherokee CRC, Cherokee Services Group, and other important subsidiaries of Cherokee Nation businesses and of the Cherokee Nation. So it's a very busy time for us. We have 2 mandates, of course, at Cherokee Nation businesses to provide shared services, and there are 7 shared services we provide. And merely keeping up with the growth of C&E and now C&I under Brian's leadership has been more than a full-time job, trying to optimize our performance in the provision of those shared services to make sure that they are provided both efficiently and effectively. And diversification is our other key goal. I know we have some important speakers coming in over the next couple of days to talk about how the tribe succeeds in diversification, what that concept means, both in providing jobs as well as the financial concept. And we look forward to getting the input of many of the counselors here. A number of ambitious plans are on the table that will be unveiled over the next few months about business opportunities that confront the Cherokee Nation and ways to allow our existing businesses to continue to thrive. And so you'll be hearing a lot more from me, and I look forward to polling all of you about your notions of what we can do. I've already had a chance this week in working with a couple of the members of the council on some interesting projects that are hopefully soon to be announced. So I appreciate your leadership, and I appreciate you giving me this opportunity, and look forward to serving you more in the future. And with that, I would be happy to take any questions, Madam Speaker.
Questions, comments from Mr. Carson? Done a good job. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Next order of business is old business. There are none pending. We'll move on down to new business. The first item is a resolution covering an application for LIHEAP, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. Michelle Pouch.
This is the LIHEAP program, which provides residential energy assistance payments to approximately 1,500 low-income tribal households, and the program will provide 350 households with emergency payments for residential energy-related crises, and I'll put that in form of motion.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 2 is a resolution authorizing the application for funding to the Department of Agriculture. Ms. Pouch.
This funding provides distribution of food to approximately 11,000 participants through the current operation of 5 food distribution centers. So I'll put that for a motion.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 3 is a resolution authorizing amendment number 4 to the 2006 Indian Housing Plan. Ms. Pouch.
I'll put that in form of motion.
I'll second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 4 is a resolution authorizing approval of a lease to construct the Park Hill Community Building on the Owen School fee property. Mr. Martin.
Move for approval.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 5 is an act amending the 2007 budget, including Mod 10. Ms. O'Leary?
Yes, this budget increase covers an increase in the general fund, motor fuel.
Point of order. Point of order now.
I'm sorry, I skipped it with you. What?
You skipped 5.
Oh, I skipped 5?
You just trying to get done.
I better don't go home. Oh, there's another one in there. Okay, item 5 is a resolution authorizing the Environmental Programs Group to submit an application to the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is a grant for a total of $49,715. There's no match required, and I would move for approval.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign. Now, item 6, an act amending the 2007 budget, including Mod 10. Now, Ms. O'Leary.
I see no problem with this budget, Mod 10. This budget increases covers an increase in the Gen Fund, Motor Fuels Tax Fund, Title IV Loan Fund, and Enterprise Fund, IHS Self-Governance and Debt Service Pool for an increase of $21.5 million for a total budget authority of $471.9 million. I'll put that in form of a motion for pass.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Any discussion on Mod 10? All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, same sign, by acclamation. We have one opposition, Mr. Count Watts. Okay, next item is announcements. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Shop Pouch.
Have an announcement. The Mardi Gras of Delaware County will be happening soon. No, this is our annual Shop Pouch Annual Hog Fry, which will be August the 26th. We start serving about 12:30 and music in the afternoon. Everybody's invited. This will be our 54th year, so everybody's invited to come.
And it's really good food. I've been there. Ms. Miller has an announcement here for you. Well, you're going first.
No, we're just going to invite everybody to come to the council house after the council meeting tonight. We have lots of food left. Come and eat.
Thanks. You're invited. Everyone knows where the council house is. There is a lot of food left over there. We had a going away party for those that are leaving us, and there's lots of food left over, if you can believe that. Ms. Connor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank the Cherokee District for having me represent them for the last 4 years. I would like to introduce my family that's with me tonight. My husband, DJ Connor, my daughters, Lindsay and Macy, who's kind of zonked out on us. She's been running around with me all day. And my dad, William Smoke. Thank you for the support system that I've had from them. And just want to let Chief Smith and Deputy Chief Grayson thank you for your support over the past 4 years. And I'd like to let all department heads know, group leaders, you have committees coming up. I'm not fading away. So if you have committees where you need concerned Cherokee citizens, I would be glad to be a part of that and just need a phone call from you. So I appreciate that, and I'll see you in 4 to 6 years.
Ms. Cal Watts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to acknowledge some of my constituents here, and I'm going to start with my mother. You do not have to stand, just wave. My mom, Beverly Cowan. My extra mom, Marty mom, and Dewey dad. They're from Texas. And then we've got Sue and Johnny Prather. And of course, we have Ellen Culp and Danielle Culp. Yes, Junior Miss Cherokee was from Claremore, which I was excited about. And then we have Leon and Blanca Plemons and John Candy. And I just want to acknowledge, John didn't say very much, but he's not only a veteran and an outstanding individual, but this man was on the roof of our Indian church just 2 or 3 years ago, re-roofing with us when people my age wouldn't show up or younger. And so he's a pretty impressive individual that we're fortunate to have working at the Cherokee Casino. And then I'm trying to think, am I missing somebody? Well, I appreciate all the Rogers County support. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is to the people that's going to get dinner on you ready tomorrow. You're going to get 2 books. One of them is the Robert Rules of Order. And the other is embossed with the Cherokee seal, your name, and it's called Holy Bible. And I would like for you all to pick that up and go to the book of Zechariah, chapter 7, verses 9 and 10. And that will tell you how to conduct yourself as a member of the Cherokee Council. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other council Mr. Hoskins, you want to say something?
Well, since you asked, folks, I want to tell you tonight how much I appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. There's no better people than the Cherokee people. When I took this seat 12 years ago, I didn't think this time would ever get here. I didn't ever think or conceive of a time when I would not sit here and represent the Cherokee people. I'm extremely proud of the amount of time that you've allowed me to sit here. It's one of the proudest events in my life to be elected as a Cherokee representative, as well it should be for every elected representative. But I do appreciate it. I've thought many nights, what would I say when the time finally got here? Well, it's here, and really all I have to say is thank you. I appreciate you. And I'll do the best of my ability to continue to serve you in the Oklahoma House of Representatives. We have 17 Native Americans, members of the Oklahoma House of Representatives. But folks, that's out of 101. 101. This state has been a state for 100 years. We were here way before the state became a state. And we still only have 17 Native people in the capital. That's wrong. We need to change that. We certainly need more Native Americans. We certainly need more Cherokee. I would encourage you to think about it. If you cannot run, get behind a Cherokee who can run. We need Cherokee people in the state of Oklahoma to serve in that capacity. Folks ask me, say, well, you've taken on a bigger job. I haven't taken on a bigger job. I certainly haven't taken on a more important job. My job is to represent the people, and that's what I intend to do every day. I represent all of Craig, Northern Rogers, and Northern Mays. A lot of Cherokees in that area, I know, and I appreciate each one of them. I would like at this time to recognize my wife, because without her I could not have done this. Without her I could not serve in the Oklahoma House of Representatives, so I'd like to recognize my wife, Stephanie. Wave your hand. I leave here with a sad heart to a certain extent, because I have enjoyed almost all of the time, sometimes maybe not, but almost all of the time. But I leave here knowing that this nameplate in front of me is not going to change very much. All I have to do to this sign up here is add a junior, because I am blessed and I'm proud to say that my son will take the seat to represent his people. And he will do that to the best of his ability. And I know his dad will make sure that he does his part. Folks, I appreciate you. And I'm serious when I say, if there's ever any time that you think that I can be of assistance to any one of you, please don't ever hesitate to ask, because I'll do the very best that I can. I won't have the title council member any longer after tonight, but I'll have the most important title, and that's Cherokee. And that's the one that I cherish the most. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hoskins. Ms. Sharji.
First of all, I'd like to thank the council for passing that budget mod 10. In that budget mod was a small portion that was set aside for Sequoyah County Emergency Management Team. And I think that that little portion of that budget really does go along with the Cherokee Nation's priorities of building strong communities. When a community makes a request to the Cherokee Nation, it's based on what they need, and not us telling them what they need and giving them the money to do it and saying, we want you to develop your community, but along these guidelines, because we know that every community and county is unique. And so I appreciate the support for that. Also, we can look to expand services away from, not away from, but outside of the Tahlequah area. Many constituents and many people sitting on this council have continually expressed the need for expanding services outside of this area, so I think that that will also help. I know that the Marshals does provide some of the services that was requested for from the Sequoyah County Emergency Management Team, and the Marshals have the 14 county area to monitor and do services for. So I think that this really will help the Sequoyah County be able to hold up their end when they need the emergency management services. With that being said, I'd like to say thank you all to everyone, especially our employees, who without them we couldn't carry out the services. It wouldn't matter how much money that we got coming into the Cherokee Nation. If we didn't have the people working for us in those programs, we wouldn't be able to carry out the services, and I really appreciate their loyalty and dedication to the Cherokee people, because every 4 years we have an election, and sometimes things change when the people are elected into different offices. Things change, but our employees continue to work. They continue to stay focused, and I always really appreciate that, because, as I said, we couldn't get those services out to the people who really need them. My last thing is I want to once again recognize Michelle Locust, who was Miss Cherokee. 2 years in a row we've had Miss Cherokee from Sequoyah County. Michelle happens to be from Notchtown community, which is my community as well, so we're doubly proud of her in our area, because Michelle has really shown some leadership abilities and shown growth and concern and passion for Cherokee people. I'd also like to take the time to recognize the Youth Council. If you'll stand up, I know we have some members of the Youth Council that are with us. They've really been consistent about coming to meetings and trying to learn what the council does, so that they may also be council members or chiefs or whatever in their future. So thank you all for being here and all this. A lot of ways, it's a sad time. It comes to an end of a 4-year term that I was very proud to serve and very honored to serve. I don't think that there have been very many times when I have been more proud of being able to work for the Cherokee people. But I will also continue to work for the Cherokee people in my community. I don't know why. People have always asked, so I've always tried to find answers, and I'll continue to do that. I appreciate the support from everyone, and I wish that new council and new administration and a successful 4 years coming up, and to remind them also that we are all only servants of the people, and we will make the best decisions with the people at heart. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Ms. Mr. Keener, would you like to say a few words? He's never said just a few words.
Yeah, I would like to say that I have enjoyed it, but I'm not the type of person that goes around and give everybody a great big honor or nothing like that. If you're seeking for employment, you expect that. And so do the best that you can. But one thing I would like to do, though, I would like to thank all the employees of different departments and the heads. I have never gone to any department where that I was not treated, I was always treated well, and I always got a fairly good answer before I left. And I appreciate that. And I never was turned down, never was told that I didn't have time or something like that. They were always willing to help, and I like that. And so, and whoever takes this chair right here, and of course, I won't leave too much knowledge here or wisdom or anything, but I'll just leave my name right here, and I'll just still be John wherever you see me, and I'll always remember and be John. And like I said again, I like to compliment each and every one, and not belittling anyone, but I want to thank from our custodians down to our chief.
Mr. Martin from Adair County.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. It's been a short 8 years. We'll look at it that way, and been an honor and privilege to work for the Cherokee Nation as a whole. We take the people out in the communities and all the staff people. I'm looking forward to retirement as such. You know, I tell people at my age, 69 years, and I need, I guess, time I take a different direction in life. Spend a little more time with my grandsons. I'm not saying that I'm quitting totally. I'm still going to be involved in their community work and be involved with their people, and I'm certainly going to watch this new group coming on, and then hopefully that I believe they will do a good job in representing the people. And we've come a long way in the last 8 years since I've been on the council, and I'll tell people, even though we've come a long way, we're not there yet. There's still a lot to accomplish, and I believe that this group will continue to do good work for the Cherokee people. Well done.
Mr. Keene, Taylor Keene.
Madam Speaker, I certainly felt like this was an honor for me this past year to be able to serve in this seat for the Tribal Council. Not only as a member of my family, for this is the second time that this body has chosen a member of my family to sit in one of these chairs, and we're very respectful of that, and certainly following up with wishes of my father. And I've kind of put this out to some of the younger Cherokees who are out there today. I've talked to them before, but old folks told me, get a good education. They can't take that away from you. Do as well as you can. Be a good person. Be humble. And when the time's appropriate, come back and serve your people. So especially you on the Youth Council, I put that challenge to you. And it was also an honor for me to be able to serve as one of the first representatives here, along with Mr. Baker, representing at-large Cherokees. And it's certainly a changing mentality, and that's where the largest number of our Cherokee citizens are today. And I see a number of them out there in the audience, Marilyn Van and Bill Davis from Coffeyville, and of course my successor, Julia Coates. And I wish you all the success, Julia. And it's a big job, and I know that you're going to do it honorably. So once again, it was an honor, and thank you to this body for putting me here today, and to the Cherokee people. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, Taylor. Ms. Shop Pouch.
I want to thank each and every one of the employees for all the work that you do and have done for me. When I call upon you, you're always willing and work with me. And I've served 12 years to Cherokee Nation, and I've seen it grow. It seemed like from a little bitty baby to what it is today. I think when I first came to the council, I think the budget was only like $90 million, and today with $300-something million, I'll tell you, it's been a big growth. And I just want to say I enjoyed working, and sometimes you have to get on the other side of the door to see what else is needed in your community. Thank you.
Thank you, Melvina. Ms. O'Leary, would you like to say something?
Yes, I would. I want to say that I truly love my people. We're strong and proud people with dignity, yet we're humble before God. And I want to remind this council, the new ones coming on, that one of the main things is, do not forget to honor our elders and our people in need. The Bible speaks to it, and that's the way we should live. We've grown, as Melvina's Chop Pouch just said, we've grown tremendously. And in that growth, we've done things in the community, and we've provided good services. But there's much, much more need and much, much more to do. As a council member, I have fought diligently for for what I thought was best for our Cherokee people and the needs that they have. I fought for what I believed it was right, sometimes against injustice. I have no regrets about sitting here. I have no regrets about leaving. I will be involved in the community, and I may be back here sometime. But within my heart, I want to say to you new folks coming on into our present council sitting here, Cherokee Nation has a lot of problems they're going to be faced with. We have lots of crises to come, no matter what is told to you now. And I think that each one of us need to go and be humble before the Lord and say our prayers for Cherokee Nation and the people, because we still have people that's out there hurting and in need, and we still have a lot of benefits that can be brought forth to enhance our lives and that of our youngsters. And with that, I say, God bless you, I love you, and I have been very, very honored to sit here, and I thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. O'Leary. I'd like to introduce our new leaders for the next term, but before I do, Ms. Connor has asked for the honor of introducing the young lady from Cherokee District, and I'll turn it over to you, Audra.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First, I would like to add that another member of my family has joined us, made it in from a meeting in Oklahoma City. My stepmother, Miss Deborah Smoke, who has been the guiding force in me and my dad's lives for the past 26 years. So I just wanted to acknowledge her entry tonight. And I would like to publicly congratulate Miss Tina Jordan for the competition that we had. And I just wanted to take this time to introduce her as tonight, who will be the incoming Seat 2 Tribal Council member for Cherokee County. So I'll help put that phone number out there for you, so you can start calling her as of 9 o'clock in the morning. But I'd just like it's my honor to introduce to you Ms. Tina Jordan for Cherokee County.
Number is 672-324.
I'd like to, before we introduce the new council, I'd like to introduce our government relations in Washington, D.C., Paula Ragsdale. And Paula, would you introduce your young lady there, the intern that's working in Washington with you?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We had our first summer intern program in our Washington office. I have with me tonight Stephanie Condiff. She is working on her master's degree in public policy in Minnesota.
Mr. Baker, would you like to say something?
If I could, I would like to take this opportunity to tell you that it has been an honor and a privilege to serve with all this council, and this is especially for the ones that are outgoing. Johnny Keener, you've been a friend and a mentor, and I appreciate you. Taylor, you brought a lot to the table, and I really appreciate your words and your wisdom. Audra, I appreciate you and the hard work, and we lockstepped on helping a lot of folks in Cherokee County. And Chuck, when I first came to the council, you were here, and we hit it off immediately, and we'll have a lifelong friendship, and I'll cherish that forever. Linda, there's not a harder worker out there, and I know that you have a heart for the people. Mel, I appreciate you so much, and your mama does really cook good. Phyllis, I appreciate your growing and budding at this council. It was before our eyes that I think the true self and heart came out, and I appreciate you so much. And Jackie Bob, I appreciate working with you the last 4 years, and but thank you so much, and I'm going to call each and one of you my friend, and if you need anything, holler, and if I can ever be of service, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. I'd like to introduce from Mays County, Mr. Chris Soap. He will be the second representative from Mays District 6. Now I'm going to give him your phone number, Chris. Also, Mr. Harley Buzzard. Is Harley there? There he is, from Delaware County. Curtis Snell from Delaware County. Brad Cobb from the Keeler District. I've known Brad since he was a small child, and I'm going to be after you, Brad. Janelle Fulbright from Sequoyah County. The other at-large representative, Julia Coates, should be serving with Jack Baker. And of course, Tina Jordan from Cherokee District should be serving with Bill John Baker. Did I miss anyone? It's been a pleasure serving as speaker the 2 years, I guess, or a year and a half. And I appreciate the confidence that all of you have shown in electing me to this position. And I'm looking forward to the next 6 years, huh, Bill John? Some of us will be serving 6 years because we are staggering the terms. Then after that 6-year period is over, it goes back to 4 years in each of our representative districts. And anyone else want to say anything? Oh, Mr. Johnson.
Well, I made a boo-boo.
Uh-oh.
I forgot to introduce my wife. My wife, Joan, has been here With that, I move with
Any other discussions? All in favor, aye. All opposed, same sign.